Hello everybody, and welcome to this basic overview of Anakin Skywalker. Now in this I will primarily be focusing on his basic abilities as opposed to the various cards you can equip him with, although I will touch up on that a bit later. So before I get into his abilities, here's a brief 360 of his appearance. So Anakin Skywalker is probably one of the most powerful characters in the game. His skills and abilities mostly focus on attack, so let's get into those abilities right now. So the first ability I'm going to show you is going to be the Heroic Might, which is off to the left a bit here. So this is Anakin's middle ability, and it's pretty powerful as it can force push multiple enemies at once, while also dealing damage to them. Next up is his Pull Dominance ability that you can see on the left here. And what that does is that you can pull an enemy towards you, while also dealing damage, and once you've done that, you can proceed to attack them. Which brings me to his next ability. Next ability I'm going to show you is the Passionate Strike on the right here. So when I demonstrate this ability, I'm going to show it with Pull Dominance, and you'll see why in a bit. So Passionate Strike is just basically a more powerful version of Anakin's basic attacks. So as you can see, when I pair it together with the Pull Dominance, I can bring an enemy closer and then finish him off. Last but certainly not least is Anakin's Retribution, which you can see on the far right. What this does is when Anakin and his allies are in close proximity of each other and being attacked, it'll charge up this meter. And when it's full, he can unleash this inescapable grip on his enemies that will deal a tremendous amount of damage. What's interesting is that they didn't give the Passionate Strike ability to Kylo Ren in the game, even though when he kills Lor San Tekka in The Force Awakens, his movements are nearly identical to Anakin's. Now let's take a brief look at Anakin's ability cards. So here's a quick glance of the extra cards you can equip him with. So a lot of these cards just give his attacks more power or more range, such as Pressure, Control the Force, and Raw Strength. It's worth noting that his Tenacious ability in the top left gives him more max health, so you might want to keep that in mind. Now before I wrap this up, let's take a brief look at Anakin's other appearances. So first off, there's Jedi Rose, which is basically his default skin, but with robes on, sort of like what you can see in Revenge of the Sith. Lastly, there's General Skywalker, which is basically his Star Wars The Clone Wars appearance, where he wears armor. And that's all for this overview of Anakin's abilities. I hope you learned something from watching it, and until next time, thanks for watching.